We're running short on time, my friend.
When do we actually go on?
Who's on?
We are.
First?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Session 0 of Call of the Deep, our new Dungeons & Dragons campaign. If you are a regular follower of mine, thank you for joining me. But don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to him. Because I'm not running it for once. I am not running this game.
Shocker.
I get to play.
I feel that was a decent trade-off. You're like, can you run this game? You can play. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, you run the stream, I will make sure you play and have a good time, damn it.
Yeah, I know my alerts browser is off, the source is offline. Shut up, Twitch.
It's not a stream without technical problems.
Of course not. Well, there is one more name that I still need to put on the overlay. Meatwad, what would you like your name to be displayed on the overlay? And looks like we have a frozen Meatwad.
Sweet.
I'm gonna thaw him out quickly. Come on. 30 seconds. It's all you need. Half power. Just stick it on there and
it's gonna
start
be
rotating.
Meatwad,
Yes.
because I showed up late to make a.
Oh, he's back.
Don't forget about the placeholder for Samwise.
Oh yeah, that's right too.
They're really seeing how the sausage is made here.
Yep, this is behind the scene. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
But I want to, though.
Do I need to go get a fucking curtain now? Go get up and
Actually, this is a curtain right here. I'm
come back.
actually a man behind the curtain.
There are a great amount of curtains here. I think it's a majority of curtains behind people. Or tapestries, one of the two.
So Meatwad, I'm adding your name on the overlay as Meatwad. I hope that's okay.
That's fine. You could put Amador, Meatwad, whatever you want.
Well,
Call me whatever you want.
well, I think when we actually do get like an actual overlay, not just me dicking around with whatever's here. I know. Okay. And to be fair, Mikey has been making overlays. I think he said that he. Did you have one made for this campaign?
Yes, I did. So I have it like a placeholder for right now, and then I'll update it later this week once we establish character names and things like that. And then I'll send it over to you in a nice little email.
Rock and roll.
Oh, nice.
And we also have our Samwise here.
Yeah, so trying
Hello.
to throw on a shirt. I just got home from work and all settled.
Oh, it's going to be an after hours kind of stream then.
Did you
make
make
sure
sure
it's
it's
18
18 plus?
Wait, we have to go to the hot tub like thing? We could be in the hot tub meta.
Okay, okay. As someone who loves a good hot tub, I am super here for hot tub D&D.
We do not have a hot tub. We cannot do the hot tub D&D at this time.
I've got floating dice. I can roll right on top of the water.
Yo, legit.
Hello, Josh and you. Thanks for coming in.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's
I
not
didn't
the
show
thing
you
I wanted
this
to
well.
grab. Look at that.
Oh,
Just grab.
there's Will's channel.
It's the truth of Jesus.
Oh no.
Most of them don't know it's possible.
I was about to do the Dumb and Dumber thing where you want to hear the most annoying sound and just scream.
Oh, that's a hydrate from only Josh. We already got a hydrate. We haven't even mentioned what game we're playing yet, and we got a hydrate.
It doesn't matter.
Bottle of water.
I got cola.
Wow, generic
I don't
brand.
have a bottle of water.
Yes, we know.
So, take it away, Mikey. It's your game, your show.
Sweet. Okay. So, hello, internet. Hello. Thank you. Oh boy, here we go. Okay. So, for those of you watching on Twitch, thank you guys for being here. Some of us, it's still not even 6 o'clock yet. For others, it is getting late into the hours, but that's okay. So, and welcome to Call of the Deep, a D&D adventure. So, yeah, that's essentially what it is. D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. I have gathered the best group of players, in my opinion, that I think is going to make the story very fun. In a little bit, we'll go around and do introductions, but I will start us off with that. So, my name is Mikey. I am going to be the Dungeon Master for the tabletop kind, not the other kind. I can already see you, Jason. Don't give me any looks, bro. I see you. And I will be playing all the NPCs and running these group of lovable people through the ringer. So this is going to be fun. Fun fact, I've only been playing tabletop RPGs in general for only about 2 years now, so I'm still freshly new. This isn't my first campaign or tabletop game that I've run, but this is going to be the first long-form one, given that the last campaign we played and Amador, Miss Rona, decided to ruin things for everyone. Yeah. But like I mentioned before, I have a gang of players that I think are going to be really cool. And so I'm going to introduce them to you guys, and we'll see where it goes. So I'm going to start with Will first because he's first on my screen. So go ahead.
And in your
Well, if you're watching on Twitch, then you already know who I am. I am Radio Free Will. You can find me under that name over on TikTok. I usually do games that are not D&D, so this may strike you as odd. But no, I'll play D&D all day long. I'm just like, I prefer other games, but hey, I am absolutely here for this game.
Especially since you don't have to run it.
Exactly. I am down for any game that I don't have to run right now, okay?
And of course, if you would be so kind to tell the folks, I give him crap as he's the veteran of the group. He's been at this for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So how's your experience with D&D tabletop RPGs? What are some of your favorites?
Oh, my hands down favorite RPG is Exalted. Yeah, and everyone who follows me on TikTok was just going to say, I knew he was going to say that. If you're not familiar with Exalted, it is a very high fantasy game by Onyx Path Publishing. It emphasizes dramatic and cinematic action over... there's a healthy amount of crunch to it, but it's the kind of thing like where the better you describe your action, the better you get at it. You actually get bonuses for doing over-the-top bullshit, which is funny because anytime someone says, oh, what's the craziest bullshit you've ever done in D&D? I'm like, D&D? Like, Exalted, I can come up with some crazy over-the-top bullshit, but then again, it gets me a bonus in Exalted. But aside from that, there's a million of them. Once again, if you're on this channel, I do one-shot firing range. I have a veritable library of other non-D&D RPGs. Oh, also, I do want to take this second to remind everybody that every time I stream this month for Pride Month, you can see down in the right-hand corner of the screen there, I am doing a charity fundraiser for the Trevor Project over the course of June and into the first week of July. I'm hoping to raise $1,000 for them. That would be rad if you are watching and would like to throw a couple of bucks in there. Also, any bits that I earn over the course of June are going to get donated into there as soon as I can get a Twitch payout, which I need to hit $100 before that happens. But yeah, donate to a good cause and save some LGBTQ kids' lives.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, next player up on my screen, Jace. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the world.
Hi, I'm JC Vanguard. You can find me on TikTok as JC Vanguard, cosplayer of sorts with a little bit of D&D twists. I've been playing D for almost 2 years now, and Mikey's one of my favorite DMs. Yeah, I know. It's like a little brown right here.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've been your only, but that's not true.
No. I have my brother. I have and a couple other friends I play with.
Lovely. Okay, Kilty Boy,
What?
introduce yourself.
One of many. Anyways, I stuffed my face and drank my beer. Hi, everybody. I'm Kiltman42. I've done many a thing. I'm a part of many an organization, one of which is Devil's Luck Gaming. I won't go into that right now, because I'm not here for them. I'm here for myself. I'll be drunk probably by the end of stream.
Oh God. Oh, come for the D&D.
Eating popcorn.
Stay
Come
for
for the D&D, stay for my puns. Because seriously, that's the only reason I play Bard, is so I can use vicious mockery to punish people. Isn't that Jace?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Lies.
Oh, you...
Don't lie to me. Alrighty. Thank you. Next up on my screen, John.
Me. I'm here because one, Mikey is amazing. I'm in another game with him, but my name is John. You can find me on most social media at the JV Lexicon. I've been playing RPGs almost as long as Will. I actually played with Will many years ago, and then got back into it later. But that was like D&D 3.5 and the early days.
In the before times.
The before times. I do enjoy playing Scion quite a bit, and also the Atomic Robo Fate Core game, which is hysterical to play Super Science and so fun. And I'm also on a podcast called Improvised Weapons, which is D&D 5e, but it's a bunch of comedians and improvisers all playing D, and most of them for the first time. I get to be the old man of the group and show them how to actually play it. And I've been doing improv for 15 years, so hopefully I'll be somewhat funny. But not as funny as Kiltman, because I just want to hear his reviews of popcorn.
I'm gonna be watching you too. Actually, you three, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
Kilty's just salty right now. All over.
No.
Well, that's because of the popcorn.
Buttered. I don't
And
like
there
popcorn.
it is. All right. Thank you, John. Okay, so I'm going to be very careful with this because there are 3 mics currently on stream. I'm going to go to Jace's mic. So, Samwise, you're up.
Okay, so I have, I'd say, little to moderate experience playing D&D. We started a couple years ago with my home group, just playing after Stranger Things came out and D&D got really popular. So my group of friends were like, that looks awesome. That's the part of the Stranger Things that we keyed into. And I started playing with that, did a home group, and I just got into Adventures League and started playing with our local game shop there. As far as the social media stuff goes, have no experience with Twitch or TikTok aside from viewing and everything. But yeah, excited to just get to roll some clicky-clacky stones and see the numbers pop up and smash some more goblins and whatnot.
Awesome. This is going to be great. Thank you. All right, last. So this, I don't want to say the other Mike because this sounds bad, but I referred to him by his last name. So, Amador, you're up.
That's me. I'm Amador. Hello again. I'm Amador. I've been playing tabletop games for the last 8 years, I think. Most of which is D&D 3.5. That was unfortunately, my first experience in D&D because it is really difficult. Dabbled a little bit in 40K. Played like a little tiny bit of like Edition 1 with someone's dad. But I used to play D&D before the aforementioned Rona hit with Michael, and then we are currently playing another game with aforementioned Michael. So, yeah, that's me.
Wait,
Which
Mikey
by-
doesn't have an afro yet.
Really, Kilt? Already?
Listen, I'm Puerto Rican, so it's gonna happen. If I let it grow out, it will happen. Trust me. But yes,
Stick with the stream. Watch it happen.
In real time.
Grow it out, grow it for June, and then shave it after June.
Like on one hand, okay, because I know you're a teacher as your day job. Like on one hand, now is the time to do it because you don't have to worry about going into school. You don't have to worry about your students making fun of you for it or anything like that. On the other hand, now is not the time to do it because it's summertime, and summertime in California sucks.
It was 109 last week.
specifically
What
where
I'm
me
saying.
and Amador live, because we live in the same area. So
Mikey will now give out his address and tell you exactly where he's living.
Put it this way, it hit like the high 80s in Massachusetts today, and I'm like, nope, screw this.
You guys were cold,
What do you
jeez.
think of?
I wish I had that.
Exactly, and everyone else, every other part of the country except maybe Alaska is going, oh, that's nothing. This is New England. No, this is what we get. This is what we're used to. Except when winter rolls around and we hit, I don't know, 20-ish, and the rest of the world's going, oh God, how can you do it? We're like, it's just 20. It's not that bad. Been colder.
80,
Oh, maybe
80
I like
degrees.
that.
I would rather take 80 degrees.
I don't know. I like it cold. I like it real
Taking 80
cold.
today. It was 95 up near me, and I'm also in New England, so you can't lump me in there.
Unlike the off times we actually get humidity here, it's terrible. Like, we
Welcome
live in
to
a
Weather
desert.
Chat.
Yeah. I believe you. I believe 100%. We live in a desert. We don't get humidity, but when we do, it's not very nice.
Cancel your plans. Stay inside
Mhm.
because it's ridiculous.
Watch this stream.
Literally,
Enjoy
if
the
you
game.
want-
Keep promoting.
Also, while there is a lull in the conversation, I want to say thank you, Kaya Blue Eyes, for following.
Thanks, Kaya.
We
Um,
alrighty.
Joe, if you haven't followed, do it.
Yes, please.
Alrighty.
There it is. Like you rehearsed it. Like you rehearsed it. Thank you
To
for the
the
follow,
T.
Joe Trip 2091.
Don
Thank you, Joe.
gracias. Grazie.
Nice. Alrighty. So yeah. Oh god, this is gonna be a great group. Okay, for everyone who's watching on Twitch, I usually get really excited about the games I run. All these guys know whether it's them having me as a player or as a game master. I love being creative, but I have never been more excited for a game that I've planned than this one, only because the group I have is great, and I cannot be happier with the players that I got. And I hope over the course of this game, you guys enjoy yourselves. If you're having fun, my mission's accomplished. I'm good for it.
That's a hydrate from Kitty and Krim.
Party.
It's a baby.
Yeah, I know.
Hi, Kitty.
Why I drank.
Speaking of games, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, this is going to be a D&D campaign. Now that, do I want to say it? Yes, I'm going to take jabs, but I like them. But now that Critical Role is on hiatus, now's our chance to come for their gig.
Wait,
Now that we're the only show in town.
wait. Are you
Take
are
that,
you
Matthew
serious?
Mercer. JK, love you.
Is it?
Mikey,
Is that
you gotta
really
grow your
true?
hair
I've been
out
out
now.
of touch.
The campaign finale was on Thursday, which I'm not gonna lie, that honestly just makes me excited because I'm looking forward to seeing what happens if/when there's a campaign 3.
In the
Spoilers.
meantime,
But,
we coming for their gig.
but I'm also one of those people that when I find out like that whoever's playing the Doctor on Doctor Who is stepping down, my brain immediately goes, oh, "Who's gonna be next?" So,
Christopher
I love it.
Eccleston was my favorite.
what was that?
Christopher
I'm not gonna. Capaldi was mine.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a solid.
I'm not surprised you like the Angry Scotsman.
Yeah, cranky punk rock grandpa Doctor. Hell yeah, that's 100% me.
Oh yeah.
So if
Alright.
Mikey's coming for
I
Matt
like
Mercer, he's got to grow his hair out, full beard. It's gonna have to go.
So he needs to grow the afro now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he has to
and
do
you
it.
know, and you know what he can do? The first character death, he shaves it all.
Legendary action he uses. He's got to.
He's gonna be the Puerto Rican Matt Mercer. There you go.
He's gonna be like Matt Mercer, but in the bodega.
I mean, I got the shirt for it already, so I mean,
Are you ready, Mateo? Come on.
bruh. Okay. All right. I'm on vacation, damn it. But okay. Teacher mind. All right, let's focus in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're gonna need that teacher mindset, but with this group,
Some of us
Don't-
might have ADD, some of us might not. You're in for a ride.
All right. All right. What are we doing? Okay. Cool. D&D. Yes. Great game. Love it. What we're going to be doing for this stream is we're going to have a session 0. So these guys actually had some homework over the last couple of weeks. I asked them to come up with a couple different concepts for characters. And essentially what we're going to do is finalize who they're going to be playing as and then establish a couple things with that. So, some of you guys have been in contact with me about what you wanted to play. I'm here for all the ideas. So this is going to be the fun part. So, because you guys have came up with your character concepts, we're going to have a little bit of a discussion to figure out what each person's going to end up playing. So, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be listening, offering my 2 cents, but you guys are going to drive this conversation because you guys are going to be the party. I'm just leading you guys through the amazing, terrifying story I have planned in my little notebook. So,
amazing,
All right.
terrifying story. Off to a wonderful start.
oh, don't worry. When I get to the adventure primer of my itinerary, I think you'll enjoy it.
Word.
We have an itinerary. We're already behind schedule.
Way behind, just saying.
Listen,
We
It's
were
fine.
already a minute late.
Schedule.
Like,
Okay, we'll start things off. I guess I'll introduce my character that I have.
Sure,
Is
go
your,
for
your
it.
character's 100% confirmed? This is the one?
It's the only one I made for it, so...
Fair enough.
I like the tenacity. Yes.
I don't need multiple.
So-
I don't need multiple concepts. Fuck your shit.
What I'm gonna do to
I
you.
mean, if you give me like 2 seconds, I have 40 characters made. I could just choose another. It's not a big deal.
All right.
The
You
one I
volunteer,
have in
go for it.
detail. So the one I have in detail right now is one of the new gem Dragonborns as a fighter sorcerer named Tydact Asvamet. And other than re-rolling him to get his proper stats, he was mainly a fighter, and then after the death of his friend, he unlocked his sorcerer's thing through trauma. We're gonna go through his bloodline to figure things out in backstory-wise, but other than that, it's what I've chosen.
Neat.
Yeah, I chose the Emerald Gem Dragonborn, which allows me to have Psychic Wings and give Psychic Breath Weapon. So excited.
Psychic.
Nice.
psychic-
You can have gem wings of his color, and he can allowing to fly, but he deals incipient damage naturally,
Oh,
and
okay.
he's resistant to it.
Oh, okay.
Is that a new thing? Dragonborn getting wings?
Dragonborn gems, at least, are new.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So as
That's
far
pretty rad.
as the race, as far as the race goes, Jace picked the new Dragon Gemborn stuff. So I was like, ooh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, I had an idea of the aforementioned Goblin Shooty Man. A little bit of like his backstory is basically he's more of a tribal goblin. He's from like the woods, basically, like a junglish area, I would say. But his whole thing is like he wants to explore the world because he got bored of what he was eating at home, because he has a advanced palate for about anything he can sink his teeth into. So he wants to taste the colors of the world, quite literally.
I
Sounds about right.
I kind of
And then going into an arcane archer to like hopefully get to the higher levels so I can do crazy stuff. What is it called? What they do in Wanted, like curving the bullet, but instead curving my arrow and
Curving
ignoring-
shot.
Yeah, do some
Nice.
cool stuff like that. Another one is my Kobold Wizard, who is a little shy guy, but he has a big heart for adventure. I'm
Is he an
trying to take.
actual shy guy?
No, he's a kobold,
I was gonna say yes.
but he has a heart for adventure. He's kind of new, especially since we're level 2. So I was like, oh, we'll be new to adventuring. So his name is Lizarus, but he would be preferred to call Liz, and his last name is Zard. So Lizard, the lizard wizard. Mm-hmm.
The lizard wizard.
see, but now we just have to call him King Gizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
That's the name of a band. King Gizzard,
Yeah.
the Lizard Wizard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Rattlesnake is my favorite song. Rattlesnake.
I'll be honest, I've never actually heard any of their songs. I only know them because Anthony Fantano mentioned them once.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty groovy. I like them, but yeah, that's the second one. My third one was either gonna go Goliath or Firebolt, and either do a druid or do a cleric, but in the domain of the forge, so I can go into specking into blacksmithing and just making equipment and stuff. Kind of cut our costs in half for certain things.
Beautiful.
That's what I have on the table. That's the cards I've dealt. But I guess if I had to choose one, probably the goblin. I want to eat everything.
It seems like you'd have more fun playing that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the three that I'm working with,
Okay.
I've been having a lot of fun. I have like backstories and playlists and everything like that because this is just how my brain comes up with characters. I have one who is a reborn barbarian who I'm playing the amnesia card for his backstory because he just woke up on the beach one day. Doesn't remember anything about what happened. I've talked to Mikey a bit about what actually happened, but for the sake of the character's plot and the sake of this potential stream, I am keeping what actually happened to him quiet. But so all he remembers maybe a month of before session 1. He is a sailor. He does remember how to sail a ship. He's worked as a crewman, that sort of thing, but doesn't really remember anything before that. I also have a changeling rogue who is a charlatan. Specifically, I wanted to make him a gambler, con man kind of thing. Because I'm not going to lie, this was 100% done for a reason to use the wildcard rogue subclass that they printed for the Legends of Runeterra crossover that D&D Beyond did a year or two ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it just sounds awesome. And I want to do that Twisted Fate Gambit shit. Throw playing cards and use them as throwing weapons, you know?
I guess we know who your favorite Marvel character is.
Actually, no, I'm not not as big a Gambit fan as I used to be. He was a favorite of mine as a kid. As an adult, my favorites are Beast and Colossus. Okay, I do enjoy Glob Herman. He is as an Omega Gang OG. Glob Herman is near and dear to my heart. But my last one is so I have this thing. It's called the Fatum Character Creator Deck. Thank you for following, Miss Voodoo Mayhem. Anyway, I got this as a Kickstarter. It is a tarot deck to make a character. If you don't know what you want to play, you basically deal yourself a tarot hand and come up with something. And I did that and came up with a dwarf warlock. celestial patron. She grew up as a wealthy mining family, like not miners in the sense that her family was like actually mined, but like her father owned the mine. So she grew up going to fancy dinner parties and stuff like that between dwarven kingdoms and such, and was even arranged to be married to this guy to solidify a trade agreement. And one day during the dinner where this was announced, she managed to escape with some friends and to go smoke some hazeweed and fool around a bit, like kids do, while their parents are doing the business thing. And she goes out into the night and looks up in the sky and sees a constellation winking at her, like literally winking. And it's this celestial patron, the Keeper of Stars, who basically said that you have a great fate ahead of you, and if you choose to accept it, it's yours. And so she accepted it. So yeah,
I think that was really cool.
So yeah, Celestial Patron Warlock, Dwarf, Changeling Rogue, or Reborn Barbarian are my three.
Okay. I see
Love
what you're
it.
cooking.
Will took the assignment and he went way above and beyond. And I'm just like,
I'm a writer.
Yeah.
I was the conversations that we had every time. I was like, ooh, let's do this, let's do that. I'm
Yeah.
just like, tears of happiness. I'm like,
Oh, okay, all right. I also want to tell a really quick story about the Rogue, real quick. This is a story that may
Story
not
time.
paint me in the best light, but I do want to share it because this was a super embarrassing moment while I was coming up with this character. So originally, the Rogue was going to be a Kenku, because I liked the idea of him like coming up through like casinos. So basically, he communicated in casino sounds, like a lot of dealers speak, saying like player busts and jackpot and stuff like that. So I was gestating on the characters, coming up with the details, and I'm realizing like the way I had him presented was this gambler walking around in finery, like a coat and a bowler and smoking a cigar. And I'm like, wait a second, a gambling, cigar-smoking, bowler-wearing Corvid person. Anybody ever seen Dumbo? Like the original animated Disney one?
You would have had to name him Jim. That would have been horrible.
Yeah, I fucked up big time on that character. So I've changed it. He is no longer a Kenku. He is a changeling, because I still want to play the wildcard rogue, but I would rather not be reminded of any animated hate crimes of the past.
And for that, we thank you.
Yeah.
and me being the dummy, I was like, I didn't think about it until you presented to me. I'm like,
Right?
oh,
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm a dumbass.
Oh, that's not like that.
oh my goodness.
Anyway,
How do you follow animated hate crime anyway? I don't know how you follow that as one of us talking about our characters now.
Oh, I got one.
Go for it.
I was gonna start with one of my weirder, I should say, but I'll start with this one. His name is Daniel Corpse. It's a reference to Nathan Explosion, and Will is the direct reason I
Oh,
created
Lord.
this. 'Cause the other day in chat, he placed the Batman mock-up of Mermaider, which then
Jesus.
went into Musta Krakish on autoplay. And I'm like, I'm creating Nathan Explosion, and I'm going to have a Bard Warlock that summons evil creatures to just do shit. And put
Oh,
all
is this
big
'cause I-
ma- Yeah,
Raider,
that's exactly why. Because of Mermaider, it literally went into Musta Krakish, and I'm like, oh, I'm writing the character now. So Daniel Corpsplosion is a fallen Azamar Bard Warlock. So that's number one. Ooh, which one should I go for? Okay, so my original idea was it's a Veldelkin. I don't really know how to pronounce that.
Vidalkin.
Yeah, the Veldel. Yeah, that word.
Yep.
Do the thing, which are basically an amphibious. It's a weird amphibious race.
Amphibious intelligent race from Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
Yes.
They're newt people.
Basically.
Yes.
Anyway,
They
so
are.
this character, his name is Dr. Fathom. He is a shipwright, or ship engineer, ship developer.
Although with a name like that, I feel like we're shifting from Metalocalypse to the Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
Dr. Girlfriend.
We're just gonna go down.
I
Adult
haven't even
Swim
gotten to
lineup
my
for
third
something.
character.
I am Meatwad, so the Adult Swim lineup is all here.
It's already there.
New trend in
Okay.
TikTok anyway.
So basically, Dr. Fathom is an artificer. So he just creates designs for ships, and his goal is to try and do a submarine at one point, and he's just there. Although he will probably talk like this for a while because I'm very weird. And then one of my favorite ones, this one I came up for a different campaign that I'm no longer in.
It is not only possible, it is essential.
Oh God!
So this one I made in pure mind to be field artillery. And by that, his name is Ballista. He is a Warforged Ranger who is part of the city guard. And he literally is just there to put as many bolts and arrows downrange as possible. I haven't gotten any personality for him yet, but he probably will talk like this. Very.
He's Dave Bautista as Drax the Destroyer.
He won't say, "Oh, you can't." Actually, yeah, he will try and say, "You can't see me if I'm standing really still." He's a high skill.
He just starts quoting like wrestler stuff.
Oh, white.
Yeah.
I'm not that.
He's a
good.
very literal. Nothing ever goes over his head. He's like, nothing ever goes over my head.
He's 6'8". He's freaking massive. I developed his look and I put it into my player notes, but I will move it to session 0 later. Basically, he just wears a kilt because I'm lazy, and that's what all my characters wear.
Very nice.
Because it's easy for me to just to throw it on. I'm like, all right, I need a new kilt. Why do I need a new kilt? I'll have a new character. Okay, that's justified.
Is it a little breezy under his kilt?
Very.
That is why he's known as the Kilt Man.
Yep. I have. I think my last count was 15, 16.
Aren't you wearing one right
Yeah,
now?
somewhere around there. I am wearing one right now, actually.
That's why it's 15 or 16 because you can't remember if he's wearing the one or not.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
There it
A
is.
kilt shot.
It is actually getting really warm.
How many follows are we gonna get for that kilt shot?
The kilt shot. Money shot.
It's like demonetized.
Which is like, timeout, guys. Yellow card. One more, we're ejecting you from the field.
We got one, MG Castlefan, thanks for the follow. One follow for the kilt shot.
We still appreciate you. We
We
love
appreciate
you.
it.
You do not negate the premise. You just go for it. It's so good to follow it up. That's so nice. Like, I got my 3 if you want me to go. They're not as weird as kilts, but I'm going to try these. So I also am a bit of a writer, and so I went and did a lot more homework, and Mikey got sick and tired of me going back and forth about a homebrew race that I really wanted to put together. So
Don't lie.
This is that
because
homebrew race.
It's great.
I figured it's going to be a sea campaign. What better than to take the Aarakocra and make it a penguin? So I made a Penguicocra, Twilight Cleric, who has been spending the last years of his life swimming every ocean trying to find in the deepest depths that one place where the fabric between the plane of water where his ancestral home is and where he lives to try to get back there, and he's been failing miserably.
So,
So a giant penguin.
aren't the Twilight clerics one of the ones that can use heavy armor? I love the image of a super tanked out penguin.
He can breathe water.
He can't breathe water, but he can hold his breath for 20 minutes.
No, okay. Oh my God, what's his name? Did you ever see the movie Surf's Up?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Those are the
That
penguins I'm now.
unlocks childhood memory.
The big one that's voiced by Diedrich Bader. That's the one I'm.
The one that everyone used the TikTok sound. This is.
These are my ladies.
But no,
Yeah.
I also have to go, like Kilty, I also have to go punny on these, so all their names are going to be punny anyways. This guy's called Oswald Empoleon, so he's basically Oswald Cobblepot and Empoleon, which is great. So we'll leave that there. But that's my first one. Oh, I've left you hanging. I'm sorry. Second one, also excited about this one. It's a Rune Knight Simic hybrid named Hugh Manbeing. He is a cultist in the cult of Dagon trying to bring his deity back to the surface, and he has a horrible human disguise that he's trying to pass himself off as a human being. So, do not look at my wonderful tentacles. I am not for hugging always, just sometimes. I make hugs. But he'd be so much fun to play as well. And the third was, Will actually inspired me on this one. I wanted to play a Reborn, but the UA Storm Goliath. So it's a Reborn after that, who is stitched together Frankenstein-wise from all the pieces of his family because they were taken away on a trip out of the mountains, and now he's become... This is... Mikey doesn't know this part, I just changed it on the fly, but I'm going to have him basically be the Winter Soldier. He's an assassin. So giant Goliath assassin that's been living for years. He still can't figure out where his family is, that type of stuff. And he's called Org Gandoner.
Best
I'm gonna
friends.
Be like,
Those,
I'm
those
Hannah.
are my choices.
John, what class was that reborn?
He's going to be a rogue assassin.
Rogue, okay.
Yeah. I figured he wouldn't be a shooty rogue. He'd be a sneaky rogue as a Goliath, which is hysterical.
Like a house plan. I am Heidi.
I might
Yes.
take more intimidation than dexterity and make him really not good at hiding.
Well, no. He sneaks around like Kronk in the Emperor's New Groove.
Is he really making his own theme song?
But the problem is that his vocal cords are not his own, so he speaks like Werner Herzog. He just basically has that very little bit he says, but it's okay. We'll get through it together in the darkness of my soul.
He's so
Very
Gentle,
until he strangles the
intimidating
life out of
giant.
it. I will
Me
rip
and the
your
giant are about
eyeballs
to be
loose
friends.
and make you smell color.
So what you're saying, Kilt, is that it's just like the last campaign.
Oh, it's just like the last campaign.
You're gonna be
The more I think, the more they stay the same.
It's literally gonna be exactly. They're gonna be best friends because they're gonna try and sneak around. See two tall motherfuckers trying to sneak around and do shit.
This is not again.
As long as we don't have the goblin voice, I'm fine. I am fine.
Oh, you
I
mean
don't-
You slipped up and you asked me not to do the voice. I'm going to do the voice now,
It's
just
it sounds
because
like
you say.
Harvey Firestein the Goblin?
It just sounds like he
what it was.
smoked 30 packs a day and has done some inappropriate things too much.
Yeah, Harvey
You think my
Firestein.
bad? You see, here the women in my tribe. There he was.
Eddie.
Very questionable things.
I could do like the Doctor Girlfriend like voice, since we're going with the whole Adult Swim theme. Yes, Anakin. Yes.
I think so. Those are my three. I am actually like equal on all three. I'd play any of them. So whatever we need, will be fun.
I really like the Simic one, just to voice my own little opinion. Just
Alright.
trying to hug people with tentacles.
One, he's a
Okay.
rune knight, so we can do it at large size.
Oh my god! It's like the weird tentacle monster from Monster Inc. That's
He's basically a Lovecraftian nightmare come to life.
Beautiful.
he has manners though.
He does, because he's
Yep.
human being.
All right. And now that just leaves us with one more. Mike, thank you for being patient.
He's following everybody.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to wrap up with quite a bang there. I've got some fair mild characters, just going with either a dual-wielding fighter that uses rapiers and takes inspiration from the Dread Pirate John Roberts from The Princess Bride, or Jack Sparrow, and what was the other one that I had that was just on the tip of my tongue? Oh, also Orlando Bloom's character from kind of Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah. And just following up a straight fighter with a variant human for the dual wielding feat, and just trying to get that DPS kind of front line out. Haven't really fleshed out the backstory, so one of my worst features as a player is I do not hanker down to a single character for very long. I love switching up and everything, so I just kind of cycle through. I'm way too addicted to D&D Beyond's features and the ability to just crank out characters like at a Gatling gun pace.
I get that. I
I
understand.
heard Gatling gun face. Can you have a Gatling gun face?
Warforged.
Can I?
You can have Gatling.
Hey, stay tuned for my Mutants and Masterminds game where that shows up.
Oh, yeah.
I've been playing around with the cleric class in my other campaigns that I've been running a lot, and kind of jumping onto that as well. Another one that there's just so many options that I haven't hammered down quite which one, but that life cleric always comes in handy for a good buff to the group, and sticking with the reliable mountain troll for that, building up some good stats there. And then the final one that I had come up with was the Archer, another fighter ranger crossover to lay out that DPS from afar and pick up that Colossus Slayer under the Hunter subclass, and use the fighter to get all the extra attacks that I can.
So fighter,
So we
and
have
fighter.
Yes, yeah, I hear.
No healing. No such thing as healing, guys.
So I had a really bad flashback when you started going on 2 rapiers.
Oh, no.
I'm just glad Grizz isn't here.
Hey, it's not
Okay.
my fault. He rolled nat ones twice, and you were within swinging distance. I don't want
Ow.
to hear it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Hey, Jace, do you have a name for your character yet?
Yes, I do. Here, I'll text it in the chat. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, you said text. I heard something
I will
else.
be back shortly. I got to put the kids to bed.
Okay, no worries.
Now that he's gone,
Yeah. We could
do
do
you
like the
fighters or
break.
clerics?
Okay, so me and briefly had this conversation earlier in the week. Like I said, the reason I asked you guys to come up with 3 different concepts is because that way you guys have options, so no one feels relegated to be stuck to a particular role. The only thing that I will input to this is that obviously you want to at least have 1 melee and 1 spellcaster. Other than that, everything is up for grabs. But ultimately, now that you guys have had your characters and they're laying out on the table, now we're going to figure out how we're going to do that. So, like I said, I'm just going to watch back, input when I need to, but ultimately, you guys have this conversation and we'll see, and we'll go from there.
To be fair, I didn't read
To
the
be
rules.
fair.
I didn't read the rules entirely. I didn't know that we had to make 3 characters. He just said, "Hey, make a character." I said, okay, cool. So I made a fighter and a sorcerer. It kind of got that fighter wizard going on, the fighter spellcaster. So we're good.
You can play the game by yourself then. We don't need it.
You know what? You grind us the XP. You're the number 1. You're the starter Pokemon that gets the XP for the rest of the party.
And so, are you going to be going multi-class fighter sorcerer or?
I actually, so we start at level 2, I believe. So I already am.
Okay, cool. That
yeah.
works. So we've got a little bit of fighty, a little bit of blasty.
Shadow.
Oh, you're going sneaky. Okay.
I have the shadow sorcerer, so I want to have a little like shadow friend.
Yo, if we're on sea at night, let's go take ships. We're all sneaky. It's the easiest way
Problem
to
is
get
that
rich.
we're gonna be like Muppet Treasure Island. We're not gonna take the ships well, and then someone's gonna be Tim Curry walking around. Just you can do that. I'll be your
It's
lobster.
like, no, I'm Tim Curry.
No, I'm Dirty Dan.
To be fair, the fighter that I have has really shit decks, so I don't see me being very sneaky. So we'll see.
But that's the fun in it. The dice can make some incredible moments and some epic fails.
It's 1 out of 20.
Don't I know?
I'm not recovered from that.
So one thing that I'm noticing, I think I picked up from our entire thing, we don't have anyone who's really like super focused on the social aspect of things. Like no one's mentioned a bard, which I'm fine with. We don't have to have a bard in the group.
Kill mentioned a bard.
Oh, did he?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I did. My corpse explosion. Warlock.
He is a bard warlock. Okay. And especially because my rogue is going to have the charlatan background, so he's going to be pretty good at talking his way into things. And I also have my own warlock, who's going to be pretty social herself.
Yeah, my sorcerer has good charisma, so we should be good talking wise.
Well,
if anything, so you can
and-
shoot whatever.
It sounds like a lot of everybody else's characters are sort of everybody has a tank thing. It sounds like there's a lot of like tank frontliner types out there. So I think I'm going to remove my barbarian from the table.
Okay, so really quick, because I forgot to mention this before the conversation. So, Amador, I told you this earlier, but whatever the final party outlook looks like, I'm going to be upfront with this too. It's going to be my first time. I'm going to be using the Natasha's book to run a sidekick for you guys that I've incorporated in the story. So whatever you feel like the group is missing, I will be able to use that NPC to help you fill that void. Now, obviously, I'm not going to have this NPC come in and save you guys all the time, but that way you guys have something in this NPC to help you out with something you feel that you're lacking. So
Cool.
I just wanted to be transparent about that.
Yeah. Does anyone else have a character that they are like particularly married to of their concepts?
That's obvious. I really like my
Goblin? Yeah, that sounds
20.
great.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, little range support artillery kind of thing.
Yeah,
And-
that can cook.
That can cook. Yeah, I love that idea. So yeah, I will go ahead and put that one in. Do you have a name for the character yet, or?
Yes, Corvus, Corvus. Just Corvus.
That would have been really hard with the
Uh,
Kenko again, because again, another
yeah.
Corvus person.
Goblin fighter.
Yeah. Dogs, I love you.
All right. So
What-
Oh,
One
you're
thing
really
I-
putting everything in there.
yeah.
take the peek yet. I want to.
One thing I can say is that I can change any of the classes I talked about in mine to whatever we would need as well. Like, because I knew if we needed a sneakier thing, I told Mikey this too. There were a couple that I could have done a ranger or some sort of sneakier ranged attacker, so that we can have that as well.
Your reborn was going to be a sort of a
assassin rogue, yeah, but that
Assassin,
I wasn't. Yeah, it's harder unless I go more archery on that, which it could be.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. I like I said, I'm not married to any three of them. They're all really good. I really enjoy them. I know Mikey has a preference because he likes some of it, but I'm good either way.
So I mentioned that I was taking my barbarian out of contention. One thing I will say is that I really love the story that I've been able to present, that I've come up with for him. I don't say this to try to tease out like any potential plot lines or anything like that, but there is some really cool stuff going on that I don't want to spill the beans on just yet. So, you know what? I will put that one in there. I am going to go with that one. I'm going to just go ahead and claim the tank role.
Go for it.
And
Barbarian?
reborn
get
barbarian.
Auto lock. Let's go.
Yep. And his name is Endymion.
That's a really cool name.
It's really cool.
It was the name of the ship he was on, and he got it when he woke up and saw the wreckage in front of him.
That's cool. That's really cool. That's very flavorful. That's spicy.
Yeah, Mikey, while you were gone, I made my decision on playing my barbarian.
Yes. I'm excited because I've been working. The conversations we've been having, I've been slowly working on details. It's like, all right, what do I want to do with this?
Well, we have a lot of fighters. I think, honestly, at this point, so I'm going to take the reborn off the table. That for me at this point, just to play something a little bit otherwise, it'd be fun to do. But I think for me, it's coming down to whether I want to play a cleric to help us out, or with the penguin, because that just be amazing fun to play, or do the Simic hybrid and just make him a ranger instead of a fighter, because we don't need another fighter. And I'm more than happy to have him be that type of thing as well. Still keep the whole thing of him trying to find things and be a very bad human being. So he can't do that either. But
Could be a seer too. That'd be cool.
Could be.
Ours.
Anything. Yeah.
We are lacking in the spellcasting department right now, so the cleric might be a little bit better way to go. In my opinion. Just reading the build, for lack of a better term.
How many fighters are we at right now?
Say again.
How many fighters are we at right now?
We
We
are
have a barbarian, a fighter, sorcerer, and a goblin fighter so far.
Okay, and I, by all means, am not tied to any character. I can, with fairly decent build, quick. So I'm happy to go with the cleric route as well. And of course, there's never too many clerics. I definitely do. I'm more than happy to do that, or switch over to anything else that we might need. Ranger. You by far have far more fleshed out the character route and everything there, negative age. So anything that you are really good for, I can certainly fill in that other gap.
I think for me, honestly, it's right. I think
a little bit better way to go. That's in my opinion. Just reading the build, for lack of a better term.
How many fighters are we at right now?
Say again.
How many fighters are we at right now?
We
have
at
a barbarian, a fighter, sorcerer, and a goblin fighter so far.
Okay, and I, by all means, am not tied to any character. I can, with a fairly decent build, quick. So I'm happy to go with the cleric route as well. And of course, there's never too many clerics. I definitely do. I'm more than happy to do that, or switch over to anything else that we might need. So you by far have far more fleshed out the character route and everything there, negative age. So anything that you are really good for, I can certainly fill in that other gap.
I think for me, honestly, it's right. I think it'll be more fun and have us have a spellcaster. I have the Simic waiting around in case we need anything to come from it. Say this guy, the penguin dies, I have him in my back pocket. Plus, I know Mikey wants me to play the penguin so hardcore. So I will play my penguin tank Twilight Cleric. I will have him for that. So we have our healer and our first spellcaster. At least keep that down.
All right.
I'm so happy.
And what was his name, John?
Oswald M. Polian.
Did you send that to him so he got it?
Yeah, I can
No, Oswald M, like the initial. M. Polion.
It also doesn't hurt to have someone with the swimming speed.
Yeah, and he has a 50-foot swimming speed, which is amazing.
Ooh, that's fat.
Well,
So
you take away
There's
the
a
flight
trade-off.
from the Aarakocra. I
Yeah.
waddle at 25 feet.
Yeah, so that was the trade-off. When we went over it, when John was giving me ideas and we were talking about it, in the final product, I looked at it, I was like, yeah, for me that tracks. 50 feet swimming speed, but in trade-off is you can waddle only 25 feet on land. And just the image of a penguin in heavy-duty armor just makes me smile.
His mace is formed like a fish. Ice too. Could be ice too. Who
Slapping
knows?
people with fish?
Go cut down the mightiest tree with a minnow.
It's a red herring, actually.
Oh yeah, that's. I'm not gonna do that.
Cool.
it's not like my most popular TikTok right now is, me making a stupid Monty Python joke.
Hey,
There are
Monty
no such
Python
things.
jokes are stupid Monty Python jokes.
Anyway,
So.
If someone's playing a Vidalkin, then they can get better, according to Monty Python.
Wow. Wow.
Get you better.
Much better.
I like how. Okay, just to sidetrack. I like how in that opening scene, up to that part, he's releasing fucking birds into the sky with coconut.
yup.
Did anybody ever catch the moose in the third scene at the bottom left-hand corner?
No, I don't think I did.
In the credits, this says explicitly there's this moose in the scene, in the third scene in the bottom left-hand corner. I've never been able to see it because I'm dumb and I can't pay attention that long. But that's a thing.
So who do we have so far?
We got. I'm a fighter, sorcerer fighter. Will is a barbarian, and then you're
And the cleric.
and the cleric. Yeah.
So, Sam and Kilt. Samwise and Kilt.
Please carry me, Samwise. You can carry the burden, but I'll carry you up.
I can't carry the ring, Mr. Frodo. But I can carry you.
I mean this in the best way possible, but I love you nerds so much.
And the classic like D&D Lord of the Rings thing is, you have my axe. You have my bow.
You have my biting social commentary.
You
I
have
didn't know
my
we had
regurgitation.
There's okay, so if you're not
certainly
familiar with
could make up a halfling little chef character that just runs around.
That you know what?
you're
That's
going to be a
not-
tiny Gordon Ramsay. No, I'm the barbarian.
my
Never
God.
mind.
This food is garbage.
You can just run around. You get a meal a day. That boosts.
God, what was the God? Because I did a TikTok about that. Because like Gordon Ramsay in D&D is the Hydra's fucking raw. It's regrowing its head right there on my plate.
Please. Just for the giggles, that'd be so great.
So, what are you feeling?
In the meantime, while we have been discussing, did create a fourth one.
The
Really?
addiction is real, bro.
Yeah.
His name
Mhm.
is Hemoglobin. Oh, sorry.
Is he ever? Tell me he's a
No.
goblin blood hunter.
No, he is a hobgoblin paladin.
Okay, all right.
I
Go
did. I
on.
don't know. I don't know blood hunters that well, although I could respect. Basically, it's just he's from the range, and he just goes, "Okay, cool. Okay, cool." I don't really have anything else. I just made it. I'm like, I needed a
Essentially,
funny name. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out like what we could benefit from, because if I use Ballista, that's just basically me being bland in the back, just going, and that's it. Dr. Fathom, I feel, is a bit out of place. Yes, he'll be a funny character, but I don't know. And Corpse Explosion is just, I want to do Corpse Explosion, but he's not going to be very useful until higher level. So I'm thinking I might go with Hemoglobin, or I did spell Globin, Hemogoblin, and stick with him as a alternate healer and just go do.
Like an off tank.
Basically an off tank, but that also off heals.
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah,
Tank
and
support.
Kilt as from.
You're playing Alistair.
As, I was gonna say
From
Kilt
my
as
league.
from. As this is just like with my previous character being the paladin. Paladins are great.
I thought about making a fighter wizard and just making him a Goliath, so that way I could really have a lighthouse.
Damn it, I hate you so much.
No. Do like a grapple wizard too. All you do is hold people and
For most
touch
of you,
all-
that's there. Okay.
I'm gonna have a lot of references to all of our campaigns. I won't lie.
Okay, so we're pretty much on track here, so we could take a little sidebar. So, do you want to explain the story?
Oh, sure. No, Joe, you do not get to shame me. And I'm not sure which shame you're telling me about. Anyway, so in our first campaign that I've had with Mikey and JC was our DM, we were doing Descent into Avernus. And Mikey's character was a fighter wizard who had a shield that he would cast light on, and he would use it on like a flashlight. And at one point, we just called him Lighthouse. And yeah.
To be fair, way back in my TikTok, I actually have the stories of when Kilt almost died.
Yes.
When he almost, I don't know if any of you guys know who Grisquatch is, almost
Castrated.
yeah. And then the other one is when Mikey exploded a witch with Thunderwave.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Just
The
It's
only
a lot to take. It's a lot to take in right now.
I also get PTSD anytime in future campaigns when we run across a tapestry.
oh geez, I wonder why.
So
I wonder
Listen.
why, Mikey. Why
Listen.
can't you touch a tapestry anymore, sir?
So in that same campaign, one of the players, not me,
No, that would be a special man. I know who he is.
so our big old barbarian touched the tapestry, and it so happened to be infected with green, yellow, mold, whatever. It almost TPK'd the entire
Oh.
party.
Yeah, everyone was down to 1 or 2 HP at the end of that. It was great.
Oh, that's like slimy doom.
It was literally like our first session. It was not even halfway through it.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
all right, so
We haven't
while,
even found Grizz yet.
Anyways,
so while we're
sorry
looking
for
at
that
characters,
tangent.
one thing that we are technically missing at this point is a dedicated, for lack of a better term, blaster caster. We don't have a warlock, sorcerer, or wizard. We have Jason's playing a fighter sorcerer, but that's not going to have the same oomph as a dedicated caster.
Yeah.
And for all of my talk, and I know Mikey's going to give us a sidekick, but it would still be better. Put it this way. Any of us who have ever played Kingdom Hearts know the frustration of having a sidekick for being the dedicated caster.
Heal me.
I'm not sure if either of you guys had one of those. And once again, like I said, I do have the Warlock character that I had in my back pocket. I'd be happy to switch to her if neither of you guys feel like playing a caster. And Warlock, it's not going to be quite the same oomph as having a wizard or sorcerer, but it'll still have that arcane power.
It's better than nothing.
I'm happy to pick up a wizard. I just need some help building that up. I'm not super familiar with the getting that set up with the control spells and everything like that. I haven't played too many wizards in the past.
So I do there is a wizard character that I've been dying to play that I've had in my back pocket for a while that I wasn't 100% sure he was going to fit into the campaign that Mikey was planning here. So I'll give you a brief description of him. His name is Cunning Ivor. He is a tiefling wizard, diviner specifically, and he learned magic in prison. He was a political prisoner. He basically wrote
Anti-propaganda.
anti-monarch propaganda or anti-monarch sentiments, like basically anti-monarch literature, basically, and disseminated it, and that got him thrown in prison. Figured out, and he learned divination while in prison, and figured out, and now that he's out again, he is happy to keep giving the king shit, but he just needs to be a little bit more careful about it. But now he knows some divination magic, so forewarned is forearmed. He can work his way around it.
Oh, you're gonna be a challenge.
So I'd be happy to play that character. Okay, so the question is, number one, Mikey, do you think that character would fit in your campaign?
Honestly, yes.
It would. Okay.
So here's the thing. So with this campaign, I have like points as to the non-negotiables of how it's gonna go, but with this world, listen, I'll give a brief description. You guys are gonna be running into pirates and different things like that. So this, like, political prisoner, I think would work. I can make it work, but
Okay.
it would be a conversation me and you have as far as to
Yeah.
where we fit it.
Right.
the wizard in, but
Oh.
I can make it flexible and make it work.
So I've got, like I said, I've got that in my back pocket if neither of you guys want to play a caster.
Just on that note, I just created a wizard, so if someone wants to do something else, I can easily switch to a wizard, no problem. So you can stay your barbarian that you wanted to play.
I got one.
Okay, share.
I would like to introduce you to Coldbald.
Oh Jesus!
Is he a kobold?
He is a kobold.
No, I was going to say not. He better be a Vidalcan cryomancer. He's just cold and bald.
He is a
So
kobold.
essentially you. Yeah.
He's a kobold. He is a kobold. My brain just went out the door. He is a kobold sorcerer who deals only in ice.
Hopefully it doesn't freeze up.
It gets chilly after a while.
Yeah, it happens in the heat of the moment. Sometimes you can melt.
I will also say, if someone else wants to play the cleric, my Simic hybrid could be a warlock really quickly because he's a cultist of the deep ones, and it would work perfectly.
Fathomless patron. Ooh.
Yeah, I want to play that now, honestly. Which would be
All right.
fun.
You're
just like,
And I
I've
already have
changed
the
my
backstory
mind.
built.
Okay, I'm changing it on the overlay. Because
Okay, so I'm going to be human being. This is,
Oh jeez.
man being is hyphenated.
Oh, man, okay, Hugh Man Being is hyphenated.
Oh, it's 2 last names.
Yep, it is. He comes from a very long line of the man beings, of the Innsmouth man beings.
Nightmares.
I could change it to the full.
It's on the overlay now, it's
think that-
official.
I'm sorry, Mikey, but it'll work better that way, and I know that then Mike can play cleric pretty easily, and then we have it all set up pretty nicely.
Listen, I'm cool. Like I told you, as much I'm biased to the penguin, I am
He's
the.
he's in the background. If we need him, he's
Exactly.
coming.
You want to make
You
that
can-
the sidekick? You want to make
Yeah,
that the
you-
sidekick?
You gave me
Be
an
the-
idea.
Be the penguin you always wanted to be.
Be the
Do it,
penguin you
Mikey.
want to see in the world.
Oh my God, why did you bring up SeaWorld?
Oh, I gotta go, guys. Oh no, I gotta go. No
Well,
one
then I'll
can
copy the cleric roll and hop in there.
Cool.
All right, so do you have a name for your cleric? Name and race for your cleric.
So I'll go with Mountain Dwarf, and I'll let the auto name generator pick that's Darlin Big Toe.
Darlin Big Toe.
Baerlin
E-R-L-I-N-N.
Big Toe.
Big Toe. Darlin Big Toe. All right,
He
Kill.
just has one really big toe.
I'm at the point where I really do want to do Cold Balder. But I did take your suggestion, Will, and make him a Veldalken.
Oh no.
So yeah, I'll go with Cold Balder.
All right. Balder.
Is Cole Balder from Baldur's Gate?
No,
Oh man.
he's just bald.
Essentially, he's just you, but of a dog.
Basically.
Sweet.
That's pretty cool, man. Are you gonna be like the what is his name? Mr. Freeze, but from like the Tim Burton movie? They just make ice puns
Oh
over there.
no! Oh no! Oh no! You just saddled us with Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze.
First of all, one of the
Chill
best.
out.
Oh,
Will. It is the coming of the next ice age. Just I can't do his accent. I'm terrible with it.
What killed the dinosaur? Yeah. Oh. Amador, this is why you are on the same wavelength.
so, fun fact about that movie: who was supposed to be Mr. Freeze originally? Patrick Stewart.
Oh my god!
No way.
That arguably would have been a better Mr. Freeze.
Okay, the thing is, okay, and all those one-liners, that wasn't Schumacher. That wasn't the scriptwriter. That was all Arnie.
Yeah.
Yep, that was all him. Like, he insisted that they be added to the script.
That man is magical. It's a magical man. I tried putting my hair up. It's not
Let's
working.
kick some ice.
Have a nice, refreshing chill out.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we have our party.
So everyone's cool with their choices, right?
Tydak,
Oh, hell
Hugh, Corvus, Endymion, Cole, and Berlin.
Awesome.
Do we get to roll now? Do we get to do?
No,
is that,
it's cold. Not
Like COLD?
Yeah.
Okay.
if you
Like
want it, you can put an
literally-
apostrophe in there, make it look fancy. But
make it tasteful?
Make it glottal.
Or
Ah.
Cool. Alrighty. So, like I mentioned, now that the party has been finally established, I
Corrections.
can begin work on the sidekick, which I'm excited for.
I have a
gonna be
quick
fun,
question.
Yes.
For our character sheets, do we just go to manual and then press the roll button for our ability scores?
That's what I typically do, but
How are we doing this? I can
How do
pull
you
up-
want to?
Yeah, do you want to do
Oh.
4d6s or what are we doing?
Be like, you're not the DM, Will. I am. I need to be cutting now.
You can roll the dice for me. That would be
No, so here's the thing.
Mhm.
I have nothing against digital dice. I don't, because
I like this better,
but
though.
but if you want to use the D&D Beyond roller, you can. It's just for me. If I'm going to fail, I rather it be by my own hand than.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking. Can you do it for me at some point?
You don't want to roll for your own stats?
Oh, I didn't know I had that choice. That's why I asked.
I mean, you can you do it in the D&D Beyond way.
Okay.
You can just roll the dice, because me and you. Oh, by the way, I still got to give you your dice bag back that I've had for a year now.
I know. I
Thief!
keep forgetting.
But we're okay to use physical dice, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You can use physical dice or the D&D Beyond roller. And here's the rule: when you get your stats, if anything is lower than an 8, you can roll an additional d6 and add it to that.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
Me too. I like re-rolling. It makes it either worse or better.
Excuse me.
Come
You
here,
are-
notes. Oh yeah, I have notes in this thing. Carry on.
You know, I really wish I could keep the stats that I rolled on D&D. They came out really good, and these are coming out not as good.
Okay, so Will, I will tell you this: if your stats that you currently have are better than what you're rolling, you may use the stats on D&D Beyond. I'm not gonna make you do that. And he threw his notebook.
Ladies
Wait a
and
minute.
gentlemen,
No,
oh, it's
we're just
now-
starting the game. I still need this.
I was like, why are you throwing it? You still need it. Sheesh. No. That is
All right.
dying. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not allowed here. Is that not welcome? I'm gonna get a different D6. Hold on.
Listen, I got PTSD. Remember, when you teach, these trends happen, and I kid you not how many times in class I'm like, guys, we're taking a test. Don't. I was like, save the TikTok for later.
I need the TikTok now.
Can't prove shit.
Pixar didn't happen.
Oh boy. All right. So as you guys are getting that all together, for you guys and for everyone else watching, I will basically go over the adventure primer a little bit. So, with the conversations that you may have heard, the theme of this campaign is going to be very nautical, so you guys are going to be traveling a lot on the sea and on land as well. So, just to keep that in mind. Now, as far as the overall theme, I told Jace this, but I think the best way I describe it is when I describe things, I like to take a lot of stuff from pop culture. So think of this campaign as Pirates of the Caribbean mixed with Cthulhu minus the racism from H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh my god.
So in this
It's gonna
campaign,
be
yes, you guys, what I have planned for you guys are going to be dealing with some very other planar beings.
So like, the flying spaghetti monster.
Mikey, I need to send you a message in chat.
I'm not in trouble.
No, it's a quick question.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
Hold on. It's not a question I can ask.
No, a
with the-
message. That's what I meant. Amador, those are pretty average stats. I dig it.
I know.
Hey.
It'll get better when I'm level 4. Don't worry. Because
Well, you have-
honestly,
you have. Go ahead.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of my 6 stats are odd numbers, so when I level up, they'll be even. So I'll get the pluses on them. So it's not an entirely bad thing. That's if I make it that far.
I just posted mine in chat.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
To be fair, it's not that rabbit folk this morning to show you, Mikey.
Oh God, bro. The way that you built it, plus 17 to initiative is bonkers.
What?
I go first every time.
This is not a secret, but one of the newest Unearthed Arcana is like folk of the Feywild. So it's like 4 different races. So you have rabbit folk, owl folk, a fairy, and a fey goblin. And essentially, good old Amazon leaks all the good stuff when it comes to D&D. So the next 2 books, there's one releasing in September, and it is a adventure module with the Feywild, so that's always fun. And then the one in November is, I don't know exactly what it's going to contain, but it's another Magic the Gathering kind of like collaboration.
Oh, it might be, what is it, Eldraine? Is that what they called it?
So
it's so from what I researched, it's going to be based in Strixhaven.
Oh,
Strixhaven. It's
interesting.
the new. It's
Yeah,
the
new.
thing that came
It's
out.
the new, definitely not Harry Potter setting.
Yeah, Eldraine was definitely not just fairy tales.
Exactly.
Mike, I don't know if you saw this. It says put your thing at level 2. Your character's not.
Oops.
Also, yeah, Mikey, I just sent you that question in Discord chat.
All right, I'm reading it now.
Okay.
And okay, so how do you want to do the dice rolling? Just angle the camera.
You could roll natural dice, or you could do on the D&D Beyond. It's your choice.
Dealer's choice.
Whatever you're more comfortable with is what he was saying.
Yeah, are we doing that now and just kind of aim my camera down?
No, you don't have to.
You don't have to. I trust you guys with your dice rolls.
I appreciate that.
I do too.
He's got a fancy little thing, and I got this little shit felt.
You can get 10% off on a good rolling.
Yeah, like that's
Nice.
nice. Now, see, Mike, I feel like you've become quite a bit of a dice goblin. Am I correct in stating that?
Not if you knew some of the. I've got a friend that's got 26 sets of dice, and then I just when I started going to D&D Beyond, I thought that was a lot. And then I walked in, and this dude had gone to Home Depot and bought like a whole effing toolbox and filled like the whole top like section that's like this thick and probably about 3 feet wide and like a 1.5 feet full of dice. That's a dice goblin. Like I couldn't even count.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
Oh my goodness.
You need a set of dice for every new character in session.
Yeah.
Oh shit! That means I gotta get new ones for this guy.
Have you guys seen those like Necromancer metal dice that have been going around lately? I want to pick them up, but they're like they're like $100, and I'm like, but they're like died cast. They're like really cool. They have a D2 all the way to the D20, so it's not bad for handmade metal dice, and for they have more than just a regular 7. I think it's not a bad deal. You can choose whatever.
This is the only metal dice I have, and the only reason I have these is because Mikey, not this one, that one, bought me them for my birthday.
Ooh, those are really pretty.
They're like little mermaid scales on them.
Both of your guys' dices are really pretty. I got lame dice. What the heck? I got.
Oh, these are my 3 favorites.
Ooh, those are really pretty. I like the middle ones.
And then I
The
have one
table
more.
killers.
Yeah, they are table. Metal dice are table killers. You need dice trays for that.
I'm out of
Or dice
beer.
tray.
Just don't lose the D4 metal ones, because you thought the plastic one was bad.
See,
Oh, those are as Legos.
the best ones that I have access to right now are these guys.
Ooh.
Nice.
Wait a minute. Bring them closer. Does that have runes on it? What is that?
Are those the big jumbo ones by
Yeah, the jumbo
WizKid?
ones, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Sick.
I forgot I
Shows-
had these, but
Is this?
You want
Oh,
What?
You.
It's a little bitty
Oh.
one.
Oh,
The
I,
DM is. I
I
need
just
more
realized
D6.
I missed the
Ooh.
D4 from that set.
something?
I like my dice tray for this is going to be perfect because it is maybe Cthulhu.
Nice.
Oh, is this like the part in American Psycho where everyone's showing each other's business
Business
cards?
cards, yeah. Brad in the chat is saying, "Stay away from Artisan Dice, fellas." Is that a brand or?
yes, Artisan Dice is a brand and they are expensive.
Ah, gotcha.
Like, they have a Jack Daniels barrel set that I absolutely will murder someone for.
I don't think Twitch is like Twitch will use this. Yeah,
It just says to use the M word, Kilt. Come on now.
Where's the JK? in
Mutter.
that?
JK.
Where's the JK? Where's the just kidding?
I know it's only a way to hold your dice, but I just got this today with the new set my friend got me, and I think it's badass how it opens.
Oh, sick.
That is pretty
Nice. That is really cool.
That is
Um,
really rad.
Do you need me to send you the link for my character, Mikey?
You can if you want. Just make sure
It
that when
does
you
have
guys
it in
finish.
the campaign thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say once you finish building your characters, you guys can assign them to the campaign. That way, I can look at them later too.
Or
Nice.
if you don't have pretty things, like a lot of the things downloaded for D&D Beyond, you can you can build your character in there and you can find more things. That's what I
Mhm.
did.
Yeah, because I enabled content sharing, so I mostly have all the source books that allows you for the classes and the races. So pretty much it.
Where is the link for the campaign?
I sent it in a couple of chats,
I have
but
it.
I'll go grab it. Hold on, it's right here for me.
Yeah,
It's in session 0.
okay.
Session 0.
Yeah,
okay,
Kilt putting in the session 0 channel, so
Cool. All right.
Grazie.
That's just taking me to the campaigns page. And it's
Yeah,
opening
so
up
if
the
you-
well, it's opening up my campaigns.
Strange, because it gives me Call of the Deep.
How about the one I just
Okay,
sent?
that one works.
Pokemon.
If you scroll down, you should be able to see where you can add or
Yep.
assign a character.
Yep, I got it. He's in there now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 people,
right.
right? That's it.
I'm trying to get my guy in there. It's just he's not there done yet, but he'll get there. Because now I've changed his class completely. I'm like, okay, I gotta get all that under there. It's fine.
You chose the coolest class, the coolest subclass for a warlock right now.
It makes sense with him. Come on.
Yeah, but still the coolest one.
All right, so we got. Was there anything else that you needed us to put together, or Mikey? Since we've got our characters up there now.
yeah. So now that we have characters done and everything, really, yes, sir.
Wasn't it? We had to figure out what we got, how we know each other in the party.
Yes, and that's what we're going to get to in a little bit. Now that we've established characters, you guys will have homework over the next like 2-3 weeks. If you haven't already with these new characters, most of you made new characters, just quickly come up with the backstory, and then throughout the weeks I will talk to you guys because I have a question, I have a singular question for each character in terms of what are they trying to accomplish, what's their personal goal, that kind of stuff. But now, so like you said, Jace, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to establish relationships between characters. Now, the reason that I am doing this is because while I do enjoy complete strangers coming together and forming a party essentially like that, I don't necessarily have to worry about it too much with this group, but at least establishing a relationship between at least one other character kind of avoids the whole scenario of when there are opposing viewpoints and you guys are complete strangers. It's like, from a story perspective, when characters are at odds with each other and don't agree with anything, if they're complete strangers, there's no real reason for them to be like, all right, let me hear you out. No, this is right, this is wrong, blah, 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 all that stuff. And in all honesty, it will make my job a lot easier to tie you guys into this campaign. So it's just not, we're starting from ground zero, but you guys have either been friends or things like that, or at least heard of each other at some point through various means, which I can finagle with. So, give me a sec. In the session 0 chat, I'm going to establish like the list of relationship types that you guys can have. So once I post that, just take a look over for those, and then we can go from there. We'll figure out how you guys are relationships established and come up with some fun background story with that.
So, do we need to have a connection to every other member of the party?
No. So to make it easier, I'm just going to have one. So all you guys need to do is one. We can try to make it varied, but if one person is connected,
Okay.
really, this relationship is for me to figure out when we start the actual campaign in a couple weeks with session 1. It'll help me figure out where you guys are at and things like that.
Sure.
Alrighty, so the list is now in session 0. So this is just an example list of 20 different ideas, but if you think of something else, by all means we can do that too. So for everyone on Twitch, the example list that I created is as follows. So the types of relationship that these guys can have with one another, starting from the very top, they could be siblings, was saved by, served with, protected, adventured with, friendly rival, childhood friend, magically bound, survived, escaped, apprentice, acolyte, idolizes, drinking buddies, business associate, lost a bet to them, is indebted to someone, was trained by them, a dueling partner, or my personal favorite, on the run.
Let's see.
Technically, my character's running from the. So let's see. Hold on, let me pull it up again. He would be running from the. Oh, don't download it. View it.
Put this in, please.
So I don't really want to read the background of my whole character because it is pretty long, and I was bored.
Does anyone in the group, is anyone taking the sailor background?
I took the Far Traveler background.
Because I think served with, that might be, that's because given the fact that my character's only like memories are are from the last month or so, served with might be one of the best ones because he's been working on ships, trying as a way to make ends meet, living in inns and trying to make sense of what the fuck happened to him. So I feel like if someone that has the sailor background would be someone that I served on a ship with.
Okay. So, since you picked the sailor background, you cool with Will having that establishing relationship with your character?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Bam.
Solved.
Beautiful.
I need to come up with a character voice for this guy.
The
Okay,
best part.
so my turn. I would like Cold Boulder to be drinking buddies and a friendly rival to human being.
I love that even more because I speak Vidalcan, so we can go back.
When we speak Vodalcan, we have to choose an accent and stick to it when we're in that language. And then in common, we have another one completely different.
Actually, I would like to argue that since you guys would be the only two speaking it, you could speak your normal no accent, but when you're speaking to everyone else, you would have an accent
Have to do
for
the character
them.
voice, yeah.
Yes, we put an accent on.
Yeah.
Because you guys are going to be speaking the same language, so you guys have the same kind of accent.
And also, if you're going to use the accent when you speak Vidalcan, you got to make sure it's not an accent that anyone else is using. So as I'm just sitting here brainstorming character voices for Endymion, I think everybody in this chat is going to hear a bit of my heritage in this one. I think I'm giving him the Boston accent. I'm giving him the Northeast. I'm not gonna make him go full Marky Mark. It's gonna be
Just Donnie. You're just gonna be Donnie.
It's gonna be a couple registers lower because he's a confused guy. I might even send him maybe a little bit further north so that he's got a bit more of that Maine that kind of can't get there from here.
Don't go up there. Stephen King lives up there.
Yeah, exactly. That's dangerous territory. But yeah, I'm gonna give him the Boston accent.
Beautiful.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make human being. I'm gonna switch it over and just do the Werner Herzog when he speaks common. Hello, it's very nice to see all of you here today in this wonderful place where we all drink and make fun. It's quite nice to be here and eating the food of the people.
Okay, Joe Tripp in the chat says you never hear a Boston in fantasy. Okay. I am an aspiring voice actor from the greater Boston area, so I have thought about this entirely too much. The thing about Boston accent is that you don't say Boston. The O sound is more like an AW. It comes out like Boston.
You're gonna say Boston if you're from Chelsea.
So the other fun things that a lot of people point out, you drop the R's, and so you don't always drop the R's. Now, obviously, if it's before a vowel, then you have to do it because then the word just doesn't make sense. Yeah, so like Boston, Bawston. And honestly, the second O is more like a schwa sound, so it comes out more like an I. So it's like Boston. The other thing is that the R's, when you say, if you look at the classic example of park the car in Harvard Yard, the R is not always dropped. If a word ends with the letter R, but the next word starts with a vowel, you shift the R from the end of that word to the start of the next one. So like with Pak the Ka Rin Havad Yad, you hear it. It's Pak the Ka Rin Havad Yad. And now.
And knowing is half the battle.
No, you did miss it a little bit there. The Moy.
The Moy.
Moy.
Okay.
Hey, I went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting to be in radio, and one of the first
So
things...
did I!
And one of the first things they teach you going to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting to be in radio is that if you want a job anywhere besides your hometown, pick your R's back up. And that is one of the most... That is the only thing that I've really kept. So if you hear me speak next to my brother, like my brother has the thickest Boston accent. Almost like when I stopped using it, he had to make up for it. So it's... So, honestly, speaking in character for this guy, it's actually going to be weird because I'm so used to not using my accent. It's...
The more you use it, it's going to come out in your stream.
Exactly. It's going to come up more and more.
I don't have
Draw
that.
backwards. That's a
benefit of-
hydrate from draw backwards.
Also, don't have a drink.
Hey.
I need a 4 beer.
I don't.
Okay,
I
so-
don't have that.
So I know
benefit
draw
of,
backwards.
Like,
If any,
unique
that's
voices
awesome,
like
Mike.
you guys
so
can.
now there's 4.
It's if anything, my voice is going to go down a little gruffier when I'm speaking as the Dragonborn. But as far as that, I can't really do much more than be a little gruffy and act like a little bit of Gary the Goblin.
Now I do have to ask, since he is a psychic dragonborn, though, does he have a psychic voice as well that's like high pitched or something else?
That would be really creepy, but we could work in that in. I'm sure I could figure a voice out for the psychic part.
Although a psychic dragon, all I'm going to be able to hear in my head is like whoever did the voice of Professor X in the X-Men comics, X-Men cartoon from the 90s.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Really, the
god.
comics.
I am Professor Charles Xavier.
As opposed to the horrible Pride of the X-Men?
Yeah, a little bit of that. They might have been the same voice actor. They sounded,
I don't think so.
They sounded very... Like, in my memory, they sound very similar. Maybe I'm just conflating the two, but anyway.
All right,
Let's see,
back to
hold on.
character
What is this
relationships.
intelligence
So, Jace, I know what we talked about with Tydak is his backstory. He's leaving where he was coming from.
He's
So
pretty much
what-
on the run from the Masters of the Ring. So he was a gladiator fighter, and if anything, a bunch of his... Let's see, hold on. Gotta remember I wrote out a lot. So he's a gladiator fighter that was taken from slavery, thrown into a gladiatorial, basically to see when he dies. He met a fighter there, and that's where he learned to become a fighter. He gained some ground in the fighting ring, and then the Masters of the Ring wanted him to die, for sure. So they couldn't really get him to die, so they grabbed his mentor and threw him against things that was no chance he was going to win. And that's how his mentor's death is what caused the sorcerer to come. So after he got his sorcering bloodline kicked in, he just like, all right, I'm out. Fuck this.
Fuck this
he's
shit,
like,
I'm out.
Okay. So yeah, so let me think.
Don't do that, it's dangerous.
Listen, when you're trying to plan a campaign, that's all you ever do. Kilt will know this. My brain has been on overload the last month and a half putting this together.
Thing I'm waiting for this campaign is when Michael's I need more D6s.
If we're gonna go with like on the list of what you said, Mikey, protected by would be one, or escaped with would be another one that would be really good.
I would also like to chime in and say I'd probably go for like adventured with.
Okay.
So if anybody wanted to adventure with me before this whole party met together, that would be a possibility. I'd also like to... I'll get back to you on the second one, but definitely adventured with.
My little goblin companion.
Hey, that's not nice.
Okay.
I miss my goblin.
No,
I
it was a
can-
Goliath companion.
No,
Listen,
I'm not referring
We put this to a
him.
vote,
I
Kilt,
know.
and you were cool with it.
Yep.
Oh, I'm just remembering something else, and I have to deal with it on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So who's
Damn
our
it.
face?
Human
Also
being.
wouldn't- I also wouldn't mind being saved by somebody's character either. That'd be pretty cool too.
I think Hugh may have saved you.
Yeah, and then I
Oh,
ate whatever you saved me from.
Exactly. I introduced you to the delicacies of the deep, and you just could not get over how wonderful they were.
The first time I tasted calamari. I lied.
That was my buddy Colin Mari.
Yeah, it was. He was a third cousin. You guys don't talk about him. He was removed.
Multiple times.
You guys are
You
horrible.
removed him.
Can we please go with that?
All right.
We're going with it. I make the finals.
I don't mind. I would love that. That'd be pretty cool.
Cool. Okay. Baller. All right. Let's see. Everyone gets to pick one, so it doesn't have to be the same person who picked you. So, Jace, do you have a character in mind? Let's start with there. Is there any of these characters that you would have an established relationship with?
Oh my gobbo.
Hold on. Like I said, I'm gonna go look and see what would be.
And like I said, the 20 things is just a suggestion. If you think of something else too, by all means.
So, going down the path with Hugh seeming like it's going to be our face there, can you remind me of what your background was and kind of like where your launching point is for your character?
Sure. So he's a fathomless warlock. He is a redeemed cultist of the cult of Dagon who came up to basically stop or bring his master up, basically. But he's liked what he's seen on the world, but he's a horribly disguised Simic hybrid with a horrible human skin thing that he's wearing. He's not really the most... He's charismatic, but he's just not... He's awkward. So that's really weird on the face, because I'm trying to pass as human and I'm really failing hard.
It reminds me of the. You ever seen the new Invader Zim movie, where cloned the dad? He's just a giant fish. That's what I'm thinking. You are basically.
Yeah. So I'm working towards bringing, like, my goal is I'm going to find this artifact to make Dagon rise, and the whole world will love it, and then he'll see what's so great up here and let us all eat the world. But on the other side of it, I want to make I want to see what, like, I'm basically on like my holiday, this my years abroad, learning what's up in Human Town.
Okay. So what came to mind as I was fine-tuning the cleric was Preacher from Firefly, and just clicking on board, taking the Far Traveler background, and just going around and spreading the word and just trying to help folks out. So I feel like latching on to the Simic hybrid that wants to get the world eaten might
Deep
be
onto the discussion.
You're going to convert me, aren't you? You're going to convert me.
Oh God!
No. It's not that you're trying. It's not that you're trying to. That they're trying to convert each other. It's a priest, a rabbi, and a zombie walk into a bar. So
My gosh.
Tell me again about your deity and how he loves his people the way that mine does not. Mine eats us from the inside and makes us feel as if there is the hopelessness. All of
They had
Wait.
each
Is the rabbi then?
John, it just dawned on me. Have you ever read Rat Queens?
Yes.
You're playing D.
Oh, I was being
Goodness.
original. Oh God!
He's just like, hold on.
Bam.
Oh, and actually,
Oh my-
it's funny that you meant when you talk about it being the rabbi. Dwarves or at least Tolkien's dwarves, have a very strong Jewish inspiration. So much so that I've actually seen, back in 3rd edition anyway, I remember people mentioning that dwarven clerics were referred to as rabbi. Yeah, they were a rabbi. They were considered a rabbi of Moradin. So if you want to play with that, knock yourself out.
But don't actually knock yourself out.
Don't actually
Are we
knock
going to
yourself
create
out.
the most utopian religion ever?
It's great. Now I got to figure out. We're gonna create a religion, you guys.
That's the fun of world building. Are you kidding?
And converting people. They're gonna want to convert people. At least I would.
Okay.
And not
so
to
just
mention,
for my
and if you're talking about coming up with religions and deities, something brought me back to life, and I don't know what the fuck did.
mine went
to
there.
our-
It's like,
And you know what? We give that 2 chefs kiss.
oh, this is so genius.
World-
I cannot wait.
World building,
Alright,
my
so-
dude. That it's
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jace, real quick. So, are you both? So John and Mike, you guys are cool with trying to convert each other as your established relationship?
I think we're gonna have a very good, like, it's like the Pope and the head of the Jewish, faith coming together and just enjoying a nice ride out in the sea to see the world.
Okay, so I'm gonna out myself, and this is for the internet too, because when I do references, pop culture and manga are there's a manga out there. This relationship just reminds me there's a manga out there that's basically Jesus and
Yup.
Buddha.
It's comical too.
What's the name? Something Young Men.
Yeah, something like that. I was just
Oh.
like, great read. I loved it.
Yeah, didn't it get made into a TV show too in Japan?
It did. It does have a
It
series.
did.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, this is, it's beautiful.
Jesus and Buddha are roommates. Oh my God, they were roommates.
Best
Super
thing I
friends.
can come up with since everyone else has a connection and I have yet to have one, and Mike brought up he took the Far Traveler, if anything, he found me because as a gladiator, I was all bandaged up and damaged from fighting. So if anything, he just like, all right, come here.
Essentially like a travel missionary, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Okay.
now you're his muscle.
Sure.
Ooh.
Going off the preacher vibe. Hey, my guy's a lot less. Anybody that happens to die from my attacks, just God wills it. Less specific on kneecaps, and then anybody that happens to die from my attacks, just God wills it.
Wait. So your philosophy lives at the intersection of Preacher Book and Draco from Rocky? If he
Drago.
dies. Drago, that's his name.
And if you've killed anyone at that point, I then push them into any body of water because then I can feed my deity and let him go, or my patron, let him. It's all good. The world revolves around each other. Are we an evil party? Are we actually an evil party? I don't know.
No, we're chaotic. We're just chaotic.
Okay. So now that so what I pretty much have everyone. So John, now you get to pick.
I was actually gonna. Will said it earlier. I know something about Will's background because I know who put him back together.
Okay.
And I've been searching for him because he's actually integral to what I'm trying to do.
We're gonna have some fun conversations
So
over the next.
I don't know whether it's him or something inside him. I don't know which it is.
Hey, the troll told the boys.
So I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he survives, but also get to know him a bit better.
Oh, this is gold.
9,000 IQ right there. That was a great play. Oh no! Don't say that.
Will's just pissed that I'm using him for all of my good stuff.
No, are you kidding? This is delightful.
Listen,
You're just spoon feeding Michael at this point.
Yeah.
listen. We writers, we know this is like when we collab together and bounce ideas off each other. It gives us a different perspective and gives us new ideas. Especially for me, because now I was like, do I want to make this good or do I want to torture them emotionally?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because both will benefit you for your audience.
Be like, they're along for the ride. You make me feel things. I'm like, good.
Cult, you are the ride. You take yourself down into the depths.
So does that mean your cult is the Anthony Bourdain? Your body is a temple. Your body's not a temple. It's an amusement park. Enjoy the ride.
Oh my god. Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
Our Lord Dagon enjoys the ride inside me at all times. It's writing and moving and
Twitch chat.
This isn't Fisherman's Wife, but it's close.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Hey, that's nope.
I'm playing a Simic hybrid. Who knows?
If your character dies, I'm eating your character. This isn't Long John Silver's.
You know,
Oh my god.
wait. So, real quick question, John. Your character's a Simic hybrid. Simic hybrids get to choose their mutation.
I know.
Which one are you going with?
So for the first level, I have the manta ray wings. At level 5, I get to have the tentacles.
He's a late bloomer.
The only reason I didn't take I was going to take underwater adaptation, but I'm like, I'm a warlock with a fathomless. I already get that, so I
Yeah.
don't need that. And I don't think I'm going to I could take climbing because we're going to be on ships, but I think the manta wings are much more fun.
Yeah.
You could be our Q-man torpedo.
Wow.
So-
In the event of a water landing, I can also be used as a flotation device.
So I will say that this additional relationship connection just made because I thought it was all decided on which barbarian subclass I was going to go with once I hit level 3. This just made it harder.
Window.
I still have it narrowed down to 2,
Huh.
but I have no idea which one I'm going to go with at this point. We'll have to see what happens between now and level 3.
That's not very far.
No, it's not.
Like right around the corner.
It's like, you have 2 weeks.
Just around the river bend.
Alrighty. Actually, since we're talking about maybe possibly doing things in the world, everyone cool with the relationships that we have established so far?
Yeah,
I think so.
Alright,
pretty
cool.
icy.
So now, let me give a little more details. So, with this campaign, I mentioned that you're going to be on ships and things like that. But more specifically, in the Adventure Primer, I basically outlined everything. But essentially, this campaign is going to be mostly on the Sword Coast. So, within the sea around the cities of Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and Baldur's Gate, as well as the islands off to the side in the sea as well. So the majority of the campaign is going to be taking place in that. So like I said, there's going to be a lot of nautical stuff. There might be... No, it's definitely... If you're going to have pirates in the world, of course you might run into some pirates. I have plans for that, so that's going to be fun.
When we cross that bridge, or
Yes.
rather,
Gangplank.
the original Gangplank.
And essentially, like I mentioned too...
The landlubber send him down to the depths below.
And as I mentioned previously, too, the way that this campaign is designed, it's Pirates of the Caribbean mixed with Call of Cthulhu minus the racism. So essentially, I'm not going to give too many details, but you guys are going to be dealing with not only the problems of the material plane, but you're going to be dealing with things coming from other planes. So just be prepared for that.
I hope we don't get the color from space. That would be terrible. Don't smile like that. I
I'm
don't
just
want...
going to hope that all of you get the Innsmouth look at some point. We all go down together. And
Writing notes now.
This is great. They're just telling me what to do.
They're just telling me how to traumatize them.
All we gotta do is separate the party at least once.
Oh,
Are you sure you want to do that?
sure.
No.
absolutely.
It wouldn't be the first time where I had to do different scenes when you split the party, so it'll work. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about the campaign setting later, you can always message me. So there's one other thing that I wanted to do before we start wrapping up a little bit.
Real quick, though, I do want to respond to a comment that's in the chat. Brad3891 says, at least no one's a bard or there'd be the shape of the water. Friend, we have a Vidalcan and a Simic hybrid. We've got the other side of it.
They are the water.
And to add on to that, like I mentioned earlier in the stream too, I'm going to be creating a sidekick. Just wait and see. Literally.
I cannot wait for this.
We won't have to wait too long. Okay, so last bit of like actual business that we need to take care of is really quick expectations for the campaign. Earlier in the weeks, I sent you guys the RPG consent sheet that all of you guys have filled out, telling me what your comfort level is with a variety of topics. So taking that into consideration, at least right now, I'm not planning anything too crazy on stuff like that, but that's not to say that things might come up. And so my expectations for this game is, I'm going to be completely upfront with this right now. This campaign is meant to be fun. That is my ultimate goal for this. If you guys are having a good time, the story could be trash. I don't think it will be, but as long as you guys are having a good time, I'm okay with it. Now, with that being said, there are a couple of non-negotiables that I have as far as my game goes. And like I said, you guys are the perfect players, so I don't foresee this being a problem. But I do have to go over this so that way everyone understands. My non-negotiables are be respectful of my NPCs, especially my female NPCs.
Sleeping
Not
with every one
saying-
of them, Mikey, just saying.
That was not my fault, okay?
And you were afraid we weren't going to have a bar.
Here's
In
the
this
thing.
game,
so-
we
This is
Well, what I mean is like, be respectful of my female NPCs. Don't treat them... If the way that my rule of thumb works is that don't say or do anything that you wouldn't say to your significant other or your partner.
If you botch your seduction roll, just walk away.
Yes. So, that's my one non-negotiable. Number 2. Here's the thing. So, obviously you're going to be killing stuff. So, that's all fine with me. However, there are going to be at some points where you guys run across animals and children. There's a hard line, especially given my profession, that if something were to happen to animals or specifically children, I'm not going to go into detail about what's going on, and I'm not going to do I'm not going to cross the line with it, because in good taste, especially as a teacher, I can't do that.
So you don't want to pull a South Park and play Kick the Baby, I'm saying.
The example I was
I
going to make is...
old pets and not so much vermin and deer. And...
Well, I think the more common example, at least over the last couple of weeks, was what happened on Critical Role. There was an instance where I guess one of the characters was reincarnated as a child, and the child version of them. Like, they were still a jerk, but like they were killed in a rather graphic fashion. And that was one of the instances that everybody was calling out Critical Role for not having content warnings, especially because that particular episode was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that sort of thing. I gotcha.
Yeah, nothing too explicit. Now, the other non-negotiable too, and this is just more for personally me, and then also everyone's different, so Amador, you can chime in with this too. Given the group that we have here, and I'm going to be as tactful as I say about this, racism is going to be a thing that I'm going to be very wary of, especially when it comes from my perspective as a POC content creator myself and running this game too. If I'm going to have issues of racism, I'm going to try to handle it as best as I can. Preferably, I would not like to have it, but given the lore of D&D, there are times where it may or may not come up. But I'm going to try to be very careful with it, especially because I don't want to... One, I don't want to give out the wrong message to the people who are watching the stream when we do this game. And number two, I'm going to be very careful with it because I don't want... And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I don't want the narrative to go out there, especially because I'm only speaking from my personal experience. I don't want that to be the basis of the entire populace of my culture and things like that as the sole voice, if that makes sense. So when it comes to issues of racism, I'd rather not have it in my game, but if it makes sense for the story, then I'm going to do it, but I'm going to be very tactful with it, if that makes sense. And then and this goes into my next thing too, the other non-negotiable, taking inspiration from Will from the game that we played, the red rule and then the X. So the red rule is that especially when it comes to relationships of the romantic kind, the red rule essentially is that kind of what you said earlier, if you fail the seduction
the red rule specifically deals with unnatural mental influence. Stuff like in D&D's case, it would be stuff like charm person or dominate person. If you use that to try to coerce something sexual out of a person, and the player is not comfortable with that, it automatically fails. That is invoking the red rule, and you can invoke the red rule on, and it can be a case-by-case basis. If it's all in, I will use this word with air quotes, good fun, then if everyone at the table is cool with it, and you can let it fly, you can let it slide. But if someone's, no, I don't want that, I do not want this happening to my character, you can say that's the red rule. You invoke the red rule, you automatically succeed on the save. It automatically does not work on you.
Thank you.
So it's a big R word then.
Yes, yeah, yes. Using enchantment spells for anything. Basically, honestly, it's really, and in my opinion, it's using the enchantment spells for anything sexual, really, because it removes consent. It removes the option of consent, and therefore, removes the option to not consent, I should say. So that is the most important thing.
Yes.
So yeah, automatic. That's the red rule, and the X card is it's a very common tool used in RPGs. If you are ever uncomfortable with something that is happening, whether we've brought it, even if like before you said, yeah, I'm fine with it, but then in the moment you're like, I'm not as cool with this, you basically you can say the words X card, you can do this, you can do somehow signify, I'm not cool with what's happening, retcon. And it will be retconned.
Thank you. Lovely explanation, but yeah. But other than that's pretty much really the only stuff as far as my.
We lost.
He'll be back. He's dealing with his job.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. But yeah, so those are pretty much my non-negotiables and things like that. But other than that, this game is about fun. I'm going to try to mix. I want to keep it lighthearted, but not in a way where it takes away from the story, because there are some things you guys are going to run up against that. But ultimately, it's fun first. I don't really care about being a rules lawyer, so if you talk to me about wanting to do something and we talk it through and I think about it and I'm cool with it, then that's fine. Now, granted, I'm not gonna have you like pull a Keyleth and jump off a cliff just because you think you can. If you do that, I'm just gonna say, okay, how high is this cliff, and then we'll go from there. So I'm pretty relaxed with all that. But if you do something stupid, there are consequences.
I can jump off a cliff that high.
Stop it.
I can too, and it will hurt.
What have I done?
I have a question.
Yes.
I'd like to hope this doesn't happen, but if it ever happens between characters having different ideologies anyways, how do you feel towards PvP, like, character? Like, more than just infighting, we're trying to, like, kill...
Murder each other?
Yeah.
Okay. So like you said, I don't necessarily think it can, but it's one of those situations where we'll deal with it should it arise. But what I'll say for now with that, I will say, depending on what caused the fight to happen, I will either, if it makes sense story-wise, I may let it happen. But obviously, because there's other players here, if they choose to intervene in all this too, then that works as well.
Yeah.
So I will say for now, if it makes sense as far as what's going on currently in the story arc, then that is a possibility. I'm okay with it. But like I also said, it's one of those things that we will deal with once we cross that bridge, if we cross that bridge.
I thought I'd just ask.
No, and I'm glad you did, because that's something I didn't think about.
It's at least fresh in my mind from the game we're playing in Mikey that Will's running, where literally, I think in the second session, I nearly ended up killing another player because of them trying to murder people they shouldn't have. So it can come up.
Yeah. Not everyone wants to be a murder hobo, and
I'd like to live somewhere and murder people. It'd be nice.
yeah, exactly. Take the kingdom, kill everybody, make it your home.
Yes.
It's like a mansion.
Go full Vlad
times 10.
Tepes.
Live your best murder life.
Yeah.
Live, laugh, murder.
No, I thought it was live, laugh, live, biscuit.
That's Nookie. That's just for Nookie.
So I'm gonna give you a cookie.
Nikki, you get a cookie?
Yes. And then you can.
You youngins were not around for the Limp Biscuit days. Like, when someone tells you that the old days were good old days, just remember that I told you that you missed Limp Biscuit, so you lucked out.
Okay, so as a sidebar, and for everyone watching too, I believe
I'm the youngest.
Yeah, I know you're younger than me. So how old are you?
I'm 23. Nobody likes me.
Yeah, because you're 23. I'm 28. Jace, how old are you?
29, just turned it.
Gotcha. And then Mike, how old are you?
32.
Okay. And then everyone else is just...
I know I'm
You're like
34, but you?
Just like the Tin Man, you gotta put some oil between your joints.
A little bit. Yeah, you live a hard life, you work construction, it's gotta happen.
I got bad
Shit.
knees. I had a cart of beer and liquor fall on me on Friday, so my left knee's half shot.
And it was at this point, John and Will were like, why are we here again?
Yeah, we're late for our AARP meeting, so...
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh no!
That was tonight. That was next week.
Well, we missed the blue light special earlier today for for Sunday brunch. So
No, I got that one. Already got
Orange actually sounds
The
fun.
early bird special was a nice Salisbury steak. I'm bummed I missed it.
I'm not.
Mr.
I'm
Meat's all,
kind of jealous. Salisbury steak sounds kind of good right now.
and you get it for like half off, especially when you present your card.
Oh my goodness.
I'll move
Man,
my walker over. Hold on.
Excuse
Don't go ahead.
me while I make like Matt Damon at the end of Saving Private Ryan and just visibly age in front of
oh no.
You knew what you signed up for.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, I did. We all
No,
did.
but in all seriousness, I'm not gonna make fun of the older folks in the game because
I'm sorry.
Well,
what
no.
did you say? Could you speak up from the West Coast?
no. Okay,
I'm
so the
sorry.
reason
I can't hear no very well.
so the
Sorry,
reason
it's been sitting that long.
Would you want me to send it to you through Morse code or?
I'm a flag.
No, so
man.
the reason I say that I won't be cracking as many jokes is because between you, Will, John, and Kilt, like you guys,
We know
look
what
up
the
to you
fuck we're
guys-
talking about.
Yes, exactly. That's essentially what it is. It's like you
Been there, man. I've been there.
the flashbacks, but
I've
no,
seen
no,
these.
in all seriousness, I respect the three of you, especially what you have taught me over the last year and a half when it comes to all these different things. Like, I'm inspired by all of you guys, but you three, especially you, Will and John, being writers, and me too. Like, I respect the hell out of all of you guys, and
We've
so
taught you what
that's
not to
why
do.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's a beautiful friendship.
I remember the smell of the honey wagon.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Back in
Well,
my
I'm
day, video games had 8 whole bits.
Listen,
And there was a dog that chuckled at you if you missed.
When you had
Atari
2
games and
players?
Snake games.
honestly.
There
Hey, I'm
used
really
to be
good
a
at-
line around the console to play the Street Fighters.
You had to blow
Oh, God.
into the cartridge and then set the TV up.
So-
3.
It's okay. So, little sidebar. So, I teach middle school, so it's always fun. They're like, "Mr. L, you're so." First of all, it's always funny. I'm like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "How old do you think I am?" "Oh, you're like 40." I'm like, "Bro, I'm 28. Chill out."
Oh, no respect.
I might have a brain of a
Yeah,
40-year-old.
You're gonna
but-
have a good time.
That's okay.
And-
So funny story about that. I was talking to my daughter this past weekend, and like we got talking about the topic was like what your coffee flavor says about you, and when she came and said hazelnut, what is hazelnut? And like I said you're old or you're old at heart, and she says, oh yeah, you have an old soul. No, there's a difference because having an old soul means that means you like jazz and you have an appreciation for like fine aged things and like you like the old fashioned kind of things. Old at heart means that get off my fucking lawn. So it's like no. The old at heart, old at heart means like I've seen things. I've seen the dawn. I've seen time pass before me like sands through the glass.
You
I
think
love
that
Days of
I'm
Our
this
Lives.
short because I'm shrinking? No, it's because the world is pressing down on my spine and curving it back around.
Oh my god.
I don't like the way you described that.
Oh, excuse me, I have to leave this live stream to go take care of the baby that's probably being eaten by my mortgage.
Yikes.
My mortgage is not eating my child yet.
Oh
See,
No.
I have yet to be able to
Tuesday.
find one of these elusive wild mortgages
Yeah, what's a mortgage? Just-
roaming the countryside.
How do you spell mortgage?
I also have to, I can't take credit for that joke either. At this point, I have to cite the amazing comedian Adam Burke for that one, which is hysterical because he's been doing that joke for years and it's amazing. Check it out. if you do.
Although if it's a wild mortgage, is that for mobile homes?
Just because
No, that's
I
a rock
live
mortgage.
in a manufactured home on a permanent foundation.
Hey, no, okay, I have no hate against mobile homes because, like, seriously, it makes sense. There's no hate against it because
Then it's called mobile and it's on a permanent foundation.
It's on a permanent
That's a
foundation, and,
manufactured.
and not for nothing, making fun of mobile homes, like double wides and trailers and stuff like that, that's shitting on the poor, and I don't want to do that.
I am the
Those
poor.
guys that live in container houses, dear God.
I wanted a container house at one point. The only reason I wanted one is because I wanted to be the dwarf that just lived underground. It's a massive.
Okay, so that's
You're an
like,
Earthship.
I would love a hobbit hole. The problem is I'm 6'4". So, I want, like,
I
what's
think
that?
being a
I'm 6'4", yeah.
I thought you were like 5'7", dude.
No, it's
hey, I'm like right there. I could live in a hobbit hole just fine.
Amador, I am very lucky to have gotten in the middle between my mom and dad because
If
Whole
you were
different
like
conversation
your-
stream right now.
okay, so there's the door to this room.
Oh no, here we go.
Here's
Dun
Oh
dun. He's like the Godzilla music starts playing around. He's like,
So
That's
growing
his
up,
album
for
cover now.
Me and Mike, like Mike was the tallest for the longest, and then I just got 1 inch above him, and then
Our family's like I'm the oldest and the shortest, and then progressively the younger the like cousins get, they get taller. The two youngest, one's a girl and one's a boy. The Tommy is the tallest, and the girl is like
Actually-
6'3" or 6'4".
okay, Tommy's 6'3", Brianna's 6'1", Luke is 6'4". So Luke,
Oh, okay.
and then Dylan I think is 6'3" or 2 as well with Tommy.
What?
I think they're
Do you
about
have any
you're-
more official character business to take care of? Because it is 11 o'clock out here on the East Coast.
Yeah, I was about to say no. As far as character stuff, that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
The only other thing is that some housekeeping. So some homework for you guys. Now that you have your characters done.
Yes, Mr. L.
My dog
I'll
ate
never
my
ex-
home.
Okay, so
My
homework.
dog is my homework.
So homework, if you haven't already, some of you have backstories. That's fine. Over the next couple weeks, we can talk about, especially with you, Will, in regards to your character. We can discuss more about some of the finer points.
Sure.
Then, like, we'll discuss on what aspects of what you know about Will's character. And then, either tomorrow or Tuesday in player handouts, I'll also put a little form in there. It's going to ask you guys to give me a description of your characters, describe them as best as I can, because I am in the process of working with an artist to do some character portraits for you guys.
Nice.
Awesome.
Don't thank me quite yet, because once I settle on an artist, depending on how much they're charging for commission, I may ask for a little bit, because I'm not...
Oh, now I see how this goes. Okay.
I'm gonna talk to the most
22.
expensive artist. And by the way, guys, I need $100 for this guy.
I wouldn't do that to you, but I'm not going to pay it, like all of it, but a little... Like I said, once I figure out what artist I'm going to go with, talk about prices, then we'll get to there. But, yeah, so backstories, and then over the next 2 days, I'll put in a little form to give me a description of your characters, and also if you have any reference pictures, too, that will help the artist as well. The only other thing, too, is that the actual first session is scheduled for the end of this month, so June 27th, same time. I know, depending on schedules, if it becomes a problem, then it's not a big deal to me. We can figure something out. But as of right now, Sunday, June 27th is what I have scheduled for the first session. And so for the actual first session, we're actually going to begin this thing. So it's going to be great.
Is there
Say what now?
How frequently are we looking to play?
Because granted, with schedules, I said once a month. I would like to keep it that way, only because I like to spend the... Well, it's weird now because it's summer, so I have nothing else to do. But that's not the same for everyone else.
if
So-
schedules allow it, I'm good every 2 weeks. But again, I'm fine with.
I'm good to play at least just if I'm good for any amount of days, just as long as it's after like 4:30, because that's when I get off of work, and I'm off
we have-
Friday days.
And so I think for now, we can talk about this later. I think for now we'll stick to
Yeah.
once a month, so you guys have some time to check schedules and also especially check with significant others and partners as well, because it's easy for me to have most of these days given that teacher summer break and I don't really have any kids or significant other yet. But I know it's not the case for everyone, and I want to be respectful of people's time and schedules and responsibilities.
If it's respectful, if we're still gonna do once a month, I work Monday through Friday normally. So if we could push it on a Saturday, so I could actually get it some sleep in on Sunday to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, that'd be great. But I don't see that happening very easily.
Yeah, we can iron out details.
Word.
Yeah, we
Over
can.
Saturday.
Figuring it
Over the
out.
next couple weeks, we can figure it out because we already have the next actual session for in 3 weeks at the end of this month. So between that time, we can deal with that. But yeah, so right now, once a month, and then once we have that conversation, we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. I am gonna call the stream now. I'm actually gonna send the raid over to Nick the Tiefling. We're gonna raid Nick because he's doing a.
Hold on, let me get in before that raid in because I want that points.
Yep, of course. Because he's doing a 24-hour charity stream right now.
Ooh.
He just started it like 4 hours ago, so he's nowhere near as punchy as he will be, but he's getting there.
He's a little seasoned now.
Yeah, he's a little seasoned at this point. Yeah, we're gonna raid on over there, and and if you're hanging out here, feel free to join us again tomorrow night, because tomorrow night we're doing iHunt for the one-shot firing range, and this is an Ordinary Kansas week, isn't it?
Yeah, so
we're doing
you have
Ordinary
that
Kansas on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
My character will be off in the background doing something,
Correct.
and then Saturday is the master.
And then Saturday's Mutants
Mutants
and Mastermind.
Mastermind.
Yeah, we also have that's going to be over on the Worlds Guild though, the other channel that I'm a part of.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. So come back tomorrow night, come back Tuesday night, and for some more games and stuff, and come back on the 27th when we'll actually be playing this game. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Rating. Raid now.
Rating.
I can't hit the
Absolute
rate now button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
12.
Right now, we're rating.
Back.
Mike, I hope you're accepted. I hope you're
you
excited
know
for the game
why
coming
you
up
got
next
it.
to the end of the month.
Radio, well,
Oh, that mic.
Glad you're not too bad. That's great.
See, this is gonna be tough. But now that we have characters, it's gonna be easy.
Like you're fucking Ed and Nettie. 24
Only
hours
work
stream
Saturdays
just
and
started.
Sundays from 7 to 7.
hello, everyone.
Jesus Christ, Michael! He like.
So I just switched jobs. I went to a hospital down the road, and they have what's called a mailer permit. You just work 2 days a week, and they pay you for 3.
Notice
Deal. It's full time,
Thank you, Al. Look at that.
and yeah,
Take that shout out.
it's actually a level 3 trauma, like variety of patients and everything.
Okay, then I don't want to switch the thing then because I don't want to mess up Mikey since he only works 2 days a week and he's swamped on those days. I think I'll sacrifice
It's
him.
open 5 other days a week though.
See, the thing is, though, we're not.
Fantastic launch player and runner of games.
So he's just gonna be
Definitely
definitely
go. I have no idea what this game is. This is the first time I've ever played it, and I am doing terrible at it.
The straight time.
You let the straights win, Chad.
Why are you letting the straights win? What?
You're like God.
He definitely needs a shower.
Oh, 100%.
He probably never washed his legs. Lets the water just run down.
He doesn't know what to do with his hair, so it's always mildly greasy and just. I'm kidding.
Why are you just describing high schoolers?
I still do that.
Wow.
Do you want to play again or go to a different one?
Hacks. Jay was using hacks.
Yep. It was stacked. Jay picked this one knowing that they'd win.
Did we say different game?
Yeah.
Let's do another one. All right,
Yeah.
let's full screen these captions again.
Let me go
I'm gonna
back to
turn the
my
volume
just
down.
chatting
I'm gonna turn
screen. The volume up because it was really quiet.
It was deafening me. Like my headache got worse from it, so I'm gonna.
Jay, your volume might be too loud, and then you have us all turned down in Discord then.
That's possibly. Let me check that. What is my volume?
Because I can barely
Upper
hear it, and I
one
have it at
captions?
200%.
My volume is at 100% though. Hang on.
But do you have Discord audio really low?
Oh wait, it's at 100. That's a bad thing. That's how that works. Yeah, give me just a second. Let me adjust
Probably
that.
increase that, then increase the game
The
audio.
original writer of that
Then you
song
increase
is
that so it-
trans, so that's Big Pog.
Right? I know, that's so good.
Specifically.
Discord, sleeping in the middle of a summer. I don't even know the words, but it's something like that. Wow, it got so quiet all of a sudden.
Oh, you...
Hang on, I gotta.
Moments of
Okay,
chaos, followed by moments of silence.
All right. So do we want to do?
Ooh, that's a lot of beans gone, Josie.
Ooh.
Do we want to do?
Josie, where'd all the
talking-
beans go?
Where are all your
They all
beans,
got
Josie?
talking points.
Do we want to do? Talking
Oh,
points?
wait, is that just giving a bullshit speech?
Yes, it is.
Give me that.
No. Oh no. Oh no.
All ones with the hydrates.
Okay,
Where's
2
it?
talking points. I do like this one. This one's fun.
It's fun, but oh my god, it's.
I'm not here to win. I'm just here to say nonsense.
I'm pretty good at bullshitting my way through things.
I mean, I'm a.
Guys, it's me. It's literally they have a picture of me in the game.
Oh look, he's revealed. His face.
Somebody took my
I'm not
dog. No, somebody took my lobster. No.
I think we're all in, right?
I guess I'll just. No, wait. I have the lobster. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh, thank you so much for the subscription.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. Hey, Jay, just out of nowhere, for no fucking reason at all, is your Ko-Fi link still in your bio?
Yeah. It's also on screen.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Am I maybe just making the same joke over and over again all night long? It's possible.
Oh no.
Damn it! I was about to steal your joke, man. I have to change it.
You already stole my brand in your promotion video, you
We'll
fuck.
see.
Whoa.
We'll see if anyone chooses my